Yeah, I figure I want to be able to roll the car. It'd be nice to be able to roll it back a little. So let's talk about that for a minute. So where am I? I am at my father's shop, which is he and my parents, he and my mom. They have been incredibly supportive. They have allowed me to store the car here for years and years without an ounce of complaint, taking up valuable driveway space while other cars just sit piled up. That's my car, piled up all around. So I really appreciate it, and it's nice because the shop's got a lift. This is kind of one of the greatest tools you can own ever, right? It's got a decent collection of tools, not everything, but he also stores things like an electric bike. He does a lot of volunteer work. They get donations. Some of that stuff ends up stored around here. But you can see it's also crowded with, well, parts from my Mustang, all torn apart everywhere. And then there are multiple project cars that have been buried over the years as well. He's a Fiat guy, so there's two out in the yard just rusting into the earth. And then there's his other projects. These were all supposed to be, short-term projects, and they've been here for years and years and years and become shelves. So the good is that I have a privileged place to work on it. The bad is that it's 45 to 50 miles from my house, which means it's 45 minutes to an hour drive. That's a long time. That's one way, which means every time I have to come here, that's 2 hours round trip. And I have a rule. I won't go anywhere that I won't be for at least twice as long as it takes to travel there and back. So whatever the round trip drive is, I need to be there at least twice as long. So to come here, I have to be here 3 to 4 hours. That's hard to pull off. Don't have a lot of time. I do work from home. I have a lot of flexibility, that sort of thing. But it's very time consuming to come here because of the drive. So that's the downside. We're going to put some air in these tires. So you might recognize these wheels. These wheels are 2003 Ford Mach 1 wheels. So this was something when the new Mach 1 came out in 03, and we were in the process of putting this car together. This is one of the things I wanted for this car, and I think they look great on the car. They're a modern take on a more modern take that are now 20 years old. On the Magnum 500. How much should we put in it? Let's try to put, because it's got nothing in it. Let's do that. But we'll try to air them up so we can see if this thing will roll. It'd be nice to be able to get it rolled down a little further so that I have access to the hose and to the tools. Okay. Well, surprisingly, for 20-year-old tires, that have been outdoors and just sitting absolutely flat as can be for at least a decade. They're holding air. At least two of them are so far. This third one appears to be taking air. We'll take what we can get. So I'm putting 35 PSI in them. That seems like a lot, but it's the only way to get them up enough to not look flat. The one in the back here didn't want to take any, but oh, thank good, that shut off. But, maybe it was the valve stem stuck, so I put a tool in there, got it unstuck. Let's put it back here and see what happens. So this one doesn't want to take any air. It may just be leaking out faster than I can get it in there. I mean, it's pretty dry rotted, as you can see. But 3 out of 4 ain't bad. Keys are in it, as they've always been. Who's going to steal a car that can't be moved? I'm going to roll down the window and see if it'll roll. Let's see. Let's see what we can get it to do. got work to do. I'll tell you what. Why don't you put your eyes on the shift mechanism? I'll run it through the shifter and see. You let me know. It's that thing right there in the middle. Let's see if it moves. All right, it moved. So let's see if we can try pushing the car. Again, I think I have it in neutral, but at least the shifter is hooked up to the shift mechanism on the transmission. Could it just be stuck? Maybe stuck brakes, you think? Maybe. Sure. All right, I think I got it in neutral. I don't know what this thing's doing. Well, this doesn't bode well. It has started pushing transmission fluid out of the dipstick hole. The two bad things about that is the dipstick hole is open and it's pushing transmission fluid out because I'm moving the pump. And the only reason it would do that is if it's probably over full. Maybe not, but if it's over full and it's been open, what do you think it's full of? Yeah, me too. I think it's probably full of water. Not great, but let's continue. It's my own damn fault letting it sit. All right, I've been rocking it back and forth here a bit, and I thought it's got to be something because I was pretty sure I had the transmission in neutral. That rear tire was so flat and so embedded in onto the cement, just stuck there. I thought I'd try one more time to air it up, and it started taking air. So right now I've got it airing up. While it's doing that, I'm going to see if I can get it to move because it's got like 10 psi in it now. That's all it took. Moving out of its spot for the first time in 10 years. I'm going to let that tire keep filling up. We'll wait for it to be done before I try to push it some more. Ironically, that tire was the one that took air the best. It's holding a full 35 psi, no leak, so that's good. Let's get it pushed back a little. I turn the wheels. Much better. That's where it's at for a decade. I'm going to clean this up. Now that that's over there, we can get in and clean that up a little bit. I'll run the air compressor, get some air, blow out all the stuff, and then we can assess a little better, but I want to get the driveway cleaned up. This is what piles up, man. You can see there's plenty in here to do, but we're making progress already, believe it or not. Hard to believe it's moved. Next thing to do is come up with a plan. Got to plan out how it goes, what's going to go on, if I need to order parts. There's a lot between here and there, though. A lot. So let me get to looking and figuring out what the plan's going to be. And yeah, I'll bring you back.